Really easy to get so focused on the nuts and bolts of ministry and surviving Sunday to Sunday and working through Planning Center and working through all my schedules that I forget about the personal part of ministry. You know what? It's personal. Have you ever said that to somebody? Like, just admit that was way too personal, right? Or you're in my space. That's too personal. In life and ministry, so much of what we do is about relationships and being personal. Now, I know there's people need their space and you don't want to be too personal, but there is something about building relationships with kids, with volunteers, with your pastor, with your coworkers. Reggie Joiner and some other folks just released a brand new book called It's Personal, and it's based on the interaction that Jesus had with Zacchaeus. And I love this because the whole book is about 5 questions you should give kids that will give those kids hope. Stop being so shallow. Do you know my name? So you know what matters to me. Do you know where I live? Do you know what I've done? Do you know what I can do? Looks at the interaction that Jesus had with Zacchaeus and how powerful that interaction was in the life of Zacchaeus. It's really easy to get so focused on the nuts and bolts of ministry and surviving Sunday to Sunday and working through Planning Center and working through all my schedules that I forget about the personal part of ministry. And I want to encourage you in today's conversation to not forget about the personal side of ministry. You know, as a kid growing up in Sunday school, I don't really remember a whole lot about what my teachers taught me in Sunday school, but I remember who those teachers were and the things that they did that were special, that really stick out to me, and the relationships that were formed. And I'm sure as you look back on your childhood, whether it's elementary school or Sunday school, you remember those relationships. You may not remember the lessons, you may not remember the VBS program, but you remember the relationships. Relationships matter. At the end of the day, it's all about relationships. You've got to be in a good spot with your spouse, with your kids, with your coworkers, with your volunteers, with the kids in your ministry. And by the way, if you're looking for a good book on this, although I've not read it yet, I'm excited to dig into it. It's one of my vacation books for this summer. It's Personal by Virginia Ward, Reggie Joiner, and Kristen Ivy. 5 questions to ask kids. And listen, at the end of the day, remember, it's all about relationships. Don't be so busy doing all the stuff for ministry that you forget about the most important things, the relationships.